Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. You're knowing what you're wanting? It moves about, yes? Are you enjoying the idea of desire? Are you enjoying the experience of desire? Are you enjoying the experience of not yet fulfilled desire? That's the rub, isn't it? Well, we like to ask because when your life and the variety that you are living causes you to give birth to a desire, there is a buffer of time between the birthing of the clarity of the desire and the manifestation of it, usually. And if during that buffer of time you are sure it's going to happen, then the desire fuels you. It's like life-giving. But if during that interim you doubt it, or you worry about it, you don't believe it, you don't think it's possible, then the desire feels like a torturous friend. In other words, desires that you believe feel great. Desires that you doubt are just nagging, irritating. Have you ever heard yourself say, I wish I didn't want that. I felt better before I knew I wanted that. Because wanting it and not believing it doesn't feel good. But we want to say to you, you can't take the desire back. The desire can morph into something different. The desire can clarify into something more. But you cannot become less than what life has caused you to become. So when sifting through life, desires are born, and they are all day, every day. If you don't find a way to be a vibrational match to the new desire that is hatched, you have tension within you, vibrational tension. Vibrational tension is indicated to you by negative emotion. Vibrational alignment is indicated to you by good feeling, positive emotion. So, just to be very clear about that, as you sift through the details of your life, knowing what you don't want, and therefore knowing what you do want, because there is a proportionate, equivalent other side of that wave, that vibrational wave every time. So if you really don't want something, you really want something. And if you sort of don't want it, then you sort of want it. In other words, there's this contrast that helps you sift all of that out. So as you are launching these rockets of desire, more is happening than that you are launching rockets of desire. What's actually happening is the larger, non-physical, vibrational source energy part of you is immediately becoming the vibrational equivalent of your desire, because in the vibrational realm where we are, where the larger part of you is, there is no buffer between wanting and receiving fully. That resistance only exists out here on this leading edge. So when your life causes you in your physical form to ask for more, your inner being part of you, the God force part of you, becomes that new and improved version immediately. The question is, are you up to speed? Another question is, how long is it going to take you to get up to speed? Another question is, are you paying attention to your emotion, which helps you get up to speed? Another question you often ask is, how long is it going to take me to get up to speed? And we say, it's really a decision away. It's a decision, and the decision is, how much negative emotion or trauma am I willing to endure? Jerry looked up a word in the middle of the night on his computer dictionary, threshold. What's the threshold of pain that I'm willing to endure? Because their tolerance for pain is almost non-existent. They have parlayed themselves into a very good life, and they want things to go well. And when they don't, They don't like it, and you don't either, but different people to varying degrees have desensitized themselves to their emotional system. So quite often you're willing to be ornery. You're willing to live in dread. You're willing to feel apprehension or hatred or anger. You're willing to put up with those emotions, not because you like them, you never ever do, but because you can't figure out how to change the circumstances that make them go away. Every word you speak about the reality that you are perceiving practices the vibration and keeps the momentum going. So the logical thing is to stop talking about it. Don't put words to it. That slows the momentum a little bit. The next logical thing is to do some processes that raise the vibration, but that's a hard way of going about it because the momentum is what it is. We're just going to give you the biggest of all justifications. And we're not kidding about this, and yet it is funny. Because we're talking all day, every day about not looking for the evidence of why things aren't working out well. But there is such an innate understanding within you that things are supposed to go well, that when they don't, it just feels freakishly wrong. And that evokes from you, not just you, but everyone, a tendency to try to explain why you're where you are. So you're doing two things. You're talking about where you are, and you're trying to explain why you're where you are. And those are the two things you've got to stop doing. And until you stop doing it, the momentum won't stop, because every day you start the momentum over again. And that's the thing that we really want you to hear. The momentum is not carrying on through your sleep state. The momentum is broken up by moments of alignment, which we know you do have. But every day you start this negative momentum over again. And you've just been doing it long enough that the negative momentum will carry you, not just through a day at the fair. Esther has been thinking a lot about Luke's day at the fair. And she wants to explain to him, because the tendency was to say, no one said it, but it could have been said. The reason that you didn't get up on the stage during Mermaid is because it was girls that they wanted. But Esther did not want to try to make his negative point of attraction all right. His negative point of attraction gave him a terrible day. Well, the joints are rigged, honey. Well, it doesn't matter. You could live in a fair where all of the joints are rigged and you can still win stuff. Law of attraction is still going to yield to somebody, you see. And so it doesn't matter how rigged it feels or how unjust it feels. The bottom line is you and you alone establish your point of attraction, and you get a redo every day. And if you get up tomorrow and you just do what you did yesterday, then you just continue to perpetuate the momentum. And we would like to say also that, oh, this is really good. This is really good. We're just going to savor this for a little while. You can't get more than one day's negative momentum going. You can't get more than one day's negative momentum going. But you get good at keeping it going because you practice it, and in your practicing of it, you create stuff that you observe. But every day is a fresh day for new momentum. So here's what we're saying to you. Oh, we like this too. What we're talking about here is the likelihood. We don't like that word very much, but we're going to go with it just briefly. Or the tendency. Your tendency to find the high disc is influenced by the disc you found yesterday. Because the disc you found yesterday yielded manifestations that you're still talking about. Ooh, don't you like this? So let's go back again. You can only get 1 day's worth of momentum going, because you're going to slumber and that momentum is going to subside. And when you awaken in the morning, you can tell your sad story or a better story. You can tell the story of current reality, and parts of it are good. You could tell the good parts or none of it. Or you could talk in more general terms. There are things about your reality that have manifested that are worth noticing. Your earth spins in its orbit. It's so big and you rarely talk about it. You hardly ever talk about the magnificence of that momentum. You don't talk about the food that continues to grow. No new seeds being trucked in from other planets. The food continuing to grow. The seed continuing to know what to do. The life force of the seed continuing to know what to do. We know that these things seem far from the things that are concerning you. But if you could get far from the things that are concerning you, you would stop that momentum. Now, we're going to explain something to you. Almost no one understands this. You're going to get it easily. So, you came from source energy and really high-flying momentum. And you're born into a physical body with the potential of increasing that momentum, which you're doing. Because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And so each time you know what you do want, it increases that momentum of who you are really, who you have actually become. So this momentum of who you are is really moving fast. It's this very high, non-resisted vibration. And the momentum of that is calling all cooperative components into its sphere. All cooperative components are being gathered. Well, if you could be less resistant, meaning you've told the story a little less today than you did yesterday, that momentum would pull you closer to it. You would have a better day. It's like you're being pulled up this shaft of well-being, up this vibrational shaft of well-being. And it is so dominant that when you reemerge in the non-physical, you'll have the exaltation of that experience. Humans have messed that up with their screwy stories too, but that really is the way that it is. So when you approach a new day and you think, that high-flying vibration is calling me, and if I don't activate something in myself by focusing on it that is resistant in nature, then I'll easily move into it. I'll easily move into it. It's sort of like, how did the day at the fair get going? It's like, what happened first? It is so interesting to us that the whole thing started with a spinning wheel at the fair. In other words, the early moments sort of set the tone of how it's going to be. So days and days and days and months and months and months and years and years and years can go by of the same tone getting set and the same tone getting set and the same tone getting set, but it doesn't make any difference. You can set the new tone. The thing that we want to impart to you, that you have the ability to hear, and if you do, then you're home free on all of this. We don't want you to choose this high-flying disc so that you can get the job you want or get the relationship you want. We want you to choose the high-flying disc because all of the other ones are inferior to it. We want you to get the high-flying disc because it feels good and everything else feels less good. We want the high-flying disc for you because that's where clarity and exhilaration and fun and joy and appreciation and love and vitality and clarity and all of those things that you really are. We want that for you. All the other stuff will come, but so what? The only reason you want the other stuff is so you'll have fun and appreciation and love and clarity and joy and all of that. That's the reason you want it anyway. So can't you just sort of cut through the justification of why you need to do that and just accomplish it a little more today, a little more tomorrow than you did today, and a little more the next day than you did this day?